Hi everyone, this is Lisa here. We're going to be doing maybe a sew along even for this particular pair of pants. Now my client sent me this image and she's wanting me to make these pants. There is nothing that indicates there's a box pleat in the back. All your fullness is coming in right here through this box pleat. What has happened here, they've taken the dart and they've turned it into this box pleat. It looks like it goes down to about high thigh, right in through here. It also looks like right here is still kind of opened up with just your anchoring stitch maybe 3 or 4 inches in through here. So we're going to have to get together on that, but I wanted to show you how to draft this pattern. It's actually kind of easy. So let's get to Pattern Master Boutique first. I've got my client's chart up. Now it always starts out without it being maximized. So I always go in and maximize mine. So let's go in and design some pants. Now she's got the fabric for this already. We're going to do classic pants because we do want this back dart. We're going to do box pleats. Now this will give you, let me hide my sloper, this will give you a box pleat in the front and the back. Here's your front, here's your back. She also wants a high waist, however, you cannot do a high waist on these box pleats. You would have to do your own waistband, and I did that. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll show you how I did it. So we've got this is all straight down. We're not putting a cuff on it or anything. I think this is good. So we saved this, and now we're opening it in Pattern Editor. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because this back piece I want to copy and change. That's ZS for zoom selected, and we're going to Control U for ungroup. Now we need to get rid of this line, and this line. And this line. We also need to do some intersecting. Here's your knee line right here. And I want to go ahead and intersect that to here. And I think I want to, let's see. First thing I want to do is do some more intersecting. Let's intersect this down to here because we are going to have to break this hemline apart. And here to here. Let's ZW for zoom window so we can break these. So we're going to go BR for break. We're going to click on this line first and break it right there. Space bar, click on this line, break it right there, and you're going to do it to this one too. Because we're going to get rid of the center ones. And lastly, this one. Now we need to get rid of this line and that line. Back out, and I can probably get rid of these lines too. Back out. Okay, you see how this is angled right here? Here's your dart point, and we're going to get rid of this line too. So what I want to do is to grab all of this, ZS for zoom selected, and I'm actually going to zoom window into here. So I'm going to, let's group, Control G for group. Grab this, and it needs to go in to this point right here. So I'm going to zoom window right into here. And this, hold your control key down to take it straight across and match up that line. ZS for zoom selected. Okay, let's ungroup that now. And we're going to get rid of these lines in the center. So here's your dart. Now let's intersect here to here, here to here. Let's get our knee line intersected. Okay, now we need to true this dart up. ZW for zoom window right here. We're going to D like David, T like Tom. No, that's not right. I'm going to T like Tom and D like David for true dart, not dart transfer, DT. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to true the dart. The first thing it asks us up here is to click on the line or the arc that the dart folds into. Now I usually fold my darts towards the side here, so I'm going to click on this line, and then it says snap, which is a right click, to the dart end attached to the previous line. Here's my previous line right here. And so I'm going to right click on this point, snap to dart point down here, right click, and snap to the end of the second dart leg right here. This gives us our true right here. So let's do some offset, 0.625 for 5/8 of an inch right here and right here. Escape, do some intersecting. Here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here. Okay, let's try getting that a little bit better. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, roll back out. Next thing I want to look at is how far from the knee I think that is. I think that's a good 10, 11, or 12 inches. So let's go with, I'm going to break, this is the back. We actually don't need to do anything to the back as far as making that point. So let's go ahead and group this. ZA for zoom all. I'm going to take this and front and make a copy. We do have to work with that after all. Okay. We're going to ungroup it and zoom window right here. I'm going to intersect this knee line here and here. Now, here's the dart and here's the dart line. Let's zoom window into here. This dart line, I'm going to change it to a black. Okay. I want to break it. Why isn't it allowing me to break it? Right there. Okay. Roll back out. This line from the end of the dart, which on Amy is going to be about, let's see, dart settings, front dart length, front is 5. So this point should be 5 inches, 5.015. And we've got this stopping. Here's where the dart would normally end. So let's say maybe 6 inches below that. So let's do, actually, what I want to do, I messed up when I broke it. And let's just do an intersection back where I was. And I want to locate this. Here's the end of the dart, 5, maybe another 6 inches. So let's locate the point at 6 inches. And that gives me an 11-inch drop. And is that going to be high thigh? No. It's going to go down below the crotch, so let's go 6 inches. I want to see how long this is. This is 39, so that's 40 plus 5, right? 5. 39 and a half plus 5 is going to be 46 and a half. So 39 and a half. I am going to go back in here and break it. Okay. So here we have this probably about 4 inches below the crotch area. I think I'm going to zoom right in through here. I'm going to do a line across the crotch. Give me a mark. Crotch line. And I want to do it 4 inches below the crotch line. So let's break this guy again. Locate point from this point, 4 inches. Might need to move it down a little bit. Let's undo that and let's locate a point from here 6 inches down. It looks a little bit better. Let's copy this. Bring him straight down. Oh, come on. Okay. This is the crotch line. Put some notes. I don't know why this has gone back to 0.2. This is going to be system settings. I'm going back in here. You should know how to do this already. Medium. Font size 0.15. I don't know why it's going to. Okay. Back out of there. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've got a crotch line. And then we've got knee line here. All right, you are really making me mad. Knee line, and this is where we're going to change that to a dotted line so we know and this is and I'm just putting that the pleat is going to open from here down to the hem. Okay, so we've got all that. This just looks kind of long, but actually it is kind of long. I'm going to move this up. No. I moved it up 2 inches. At least it should be 2 inches. Let's do a quick measurement. 4 inches. Why did it go up 4 inches? Let's see. Okay. See how big that is. This is, oh, okay, 11, and that's half. 11, and that's 5.5. So we can try it. We can leave these lines in here right now. And when we do the box pleat, we can go ahead and mess with where we want the pleat to stop and where it wants to start. So this will be okay. We just put kind of like an arbitrary line. So let's go ahead and group these together. So now what you have here is a box pleat front pant and a darted back pant. Your straight leg lines to give you still all of this room back there, because you don't want to taper hem. You don't want to taper it in and through the back and leave this all wide-legged in the front. So you still have the same wide leg. This is all going to be pretty much hidden underneath. So this and this should equal this, pretty much, pretty close. So that's all you have to do there. Now, if we are going to, I've already made a high-waisted, and what you're going to do is go in here, do a classic pair of pants, and go high waist. Okay, because this attaches the waistband here. So I did that as a separate pattern, and high waist box pleats is what I called it. So these two pieces here, if I can grab one, here's your front and here's your back. Let's lay them over. And let's zoom window here into the crotch, because I want to line this crotch up. Okay. This guy here has got to go over here. Zoom window into the crotch and line the crotch up. Zoom selected. Okay. Here's what we have. Let's ungroup this. Zoom into right here. And what I'm going to do is just to collect this part of the high waist. Copy. Bring it over here. Same thing here. Ungroup it. Just catch this waistline and go up. Now you do want to copy this so you know which side is which. And where is it? Here we go. Copy that and put it in here. All right. So this guy can go away. That's our box pleat. Get him out of the way. And this guy. All right. I'm not going to keep all that. This is what I'm going to work with now. And what we're going to do, I'm going to get rid of all these seam allowance lines, and I'm going to maybe transfer the dart, or maybe just close it and curve this around. Let's see. What I did on my pattern, I closed it and made a real odd looking band. So let's see if we can do a dart transfer. New dart opening, I want to put it on the, let's do it on the side. Snap the dart point, one end of dart leg, the other end of the dart leg, and we want all of this. Let's try 100% counterclockwise. It did it the same way that I did it. I transferred the dart up there. So let's go back. And what I did here was just really easy. Okay, here we go. Zoom selected. We need to break this right here. And then I just took all this and did an RO for rotate from this dart point. And then you just kind of eke it down into there. Now you want to do a couple of arcs here to smooth this out. And if you go in the middle of this line, you're more likely to get a smooth transition. Arc, or space bar to repeat. And there you are. So this is now our front facing. One thing I do want to do for this facing is to do a V. Let's see, how high is this? This is going to be a total of 2.5. So I want 1.75, I think. 1 3/4 going down. And then across here I want 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to draw a line. Actually, I'm going to come in here and break it. And then I'm going to do a line. The reason I broke it is because now there's a point that I can right click and attach the line to up here and down here. So these two will go away. I'm hoping this is the front. Yep. And this is the front waistband. She wanted a high waist, and I thought we could put a nice B in there. Okay. And then we're going to do the same over here to this guy. Okay, now we need to break this guy, right? And then we're going to rotate this small section. Why didn't you break? Here you did. And RO for rotate to the point, and then slide him in there. Okay, arc. Good enough. Now you can go in and match up these points a little bit better if you wanted to. And then all you have to do is do your offset. For your seam allowances. You might have to get in here to apply the offset to these curves. Oops. something's in my way here. This guy goes away. I know what. Get rid of those, and then I'm coming in here and cleaning this up. Zoom selected, and we need to move a point. Right click. There. Do it again. And let's do some intersecting. Here to the curve. Out here to the curve. I think this is not quite there. Nope. And we're going to move this point. Click, right click, and do a little bit of intersecting here. Alright, fine. You're going to make me mad enough so that I just have to act tough. It wouldn't. And then this guy can go away. Actually, we can make these guys go away too. Come down in here. Move point. Let's try. Alright, I'm just going to get tough and quit messing with it. There. That did it. Okay. Now let's get in here and see if we can clean this up a little bit right in through here. Maybe we can do that. There's that. And let's go from the other way. Alright, this guy can be broke here. See if an intersection will work. Yep. And this, and come down here. This is not even. Sometimes you can kind of scoot it. Let's do a move point. This guy. There. Let's try an intersection. Yep. Okay. That worked. 625. There. Okay. Now we need to kind of figure out what our grain lines are going to be. And technically on this one, I really would like for this line right here to be the grain line so that I can put this on the fold and do that. So let's do this. I'm going to rotate from here. And And I want to get this you can tell if your line is level or not. There it is, because it'll stay straight up and down. So if I take these away and I put a fold line on there, I'm only going to need it about a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Come on. And we want a fold line. We're going to do it 70.75 of an inch, and I want it vertical. Takes a minute for this thing to decide to let you do what you told it to let it do. There it is. And then he can come up here. Okay, so this we're going to put on the fold, and then we're going to do an offset of 625 here. And then we intersect this line up to here, here to here, and down. Alright, now we can just start intersecting around. And you can actually do a line, reduce bulk, angle. Because we've got points here, we can right click those lines and get it on the point. Hit your space bar, right click and right click. And there is our front facing. Now, the back facing is not really that big of a deal. You can just put your grain line two-way grain, vertical, and I'm going to do a 2-inch. There. I think that'll work. Not quite sure yet, but we'll see. Let's do some lines. I might have to actually drape this on there by hand. Okay, so there's that. Let's zoom all. This is what we're going to be printing out right here. This makes it a high-waisted front box pleat, straight leg back with a high waist and a V in the center. Now this we might actually have to turn the other way, but I don't know. So that's what you're going to print. The next episode we're going to do, I'm thinking we're going to do a sew along on this. So you all go ahead and draft your pattern, print it out, put it together, and find some fabric. Run it through your yardage calculator. So this we don't need. Zoom all, and I'm going to call this let's see, we're going to go and call this a YouTube one. I don't know what's going on here. Something's going on. I'm trying to save it as something. You can see my little whirly girdle. It's thinking. Okay, we're going to save this as a in our videos, so I know which one I'm working with. Why didn't it work? File, save as. And we're going into sewing. Actually, I'm going to go into documents, go into my Camtasia, and this is a YouTube video. New folder. open. And we're going to be okay. Now we can get rid of this guy. We don't need him anymore. And we're going to go into our yardage calculator. Now I don't really use yardage calculator all that much. I'm still working on learning how to perfect my use of it. So when I lay out a fabric, I usually lay it out by hand. It's very seldom that I will follow the guides unless it is a difficult piece and the client has bought only enough fabric that the guide asked for. I always like to get a little bit of extra yardage. Okay, let's open. And we have to go into a different folder than the default, so I'm going to go into my documents. And I put it in the Camtasia, YouTube, box pleats. Here we go. And I want to rotate mine whenever it opens. Okay, so we're going to set up. She would get a 50 or a 60 inch, and I want it folded. Okay, apply. This is going to take, we can do this. We only have one. I think this is it. And he's got to come down here and calculate. So this does have some extra fabric right here and through here, which technically and it says you need about 3 yards. We could actually get a vest out of this as well. A vest pattern would probably lay here, and you could probably even assist that a little bit more by, let's see, yeah. You could probably help that a little bit more by doing this and keeping it on the selvage side. Let's calculate again. Okay, so this takes 2.81 yards of fabric, and we're going to save it. Let's see if I can save it to a style. Let's see if we can save it to a style record. Okay, we'll save it to that. And then we can close this out. And close him out. And that's pretty much it. Now one thing, I don't think it'll show up in this, but pretty much that's all it is. So that's our next step, is to get our fabric and start cutting it out. If you guys want to sew along and make yourself a pair of these pants, you can always adapt the waistline away from this high waist with the V in front that I have added in. You can do a regular waistband, you can do a contoured waistband. The thing that I want you to get to understand is how to edit these in Pattern Editor and how to make a real pretty box pleat and a pair of fitted pants. So that's what we're doing. Let's look at Zabu. Come on, close. And there is Zabu. Isn't she pretty? She's so pretty. She's down at Super Turpentine Creek and a big cat rescue. It's a big cat facility for unwanted circus animals and mistreated big cats and whatnot. And it's pretty close to me. So that's my next vacation, is to go to Arkansas and go to Turpentine Creek. So you all stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be cutting out. If y'all want to sew along, I really would like it. Just keep watching, and we'll talk to you later. Please like, subscribe, share, or comment. I always welcome them. Thanks a lot. Bye.